Yo.
Welcome back
To the Closer's Mindset.
episode number 11. You released 11 episodes already?
I can, dude. Out of 11,000.
And there we go. We'll never stop hearing this.
Nope. Because this is just an unstoppable train, bro. It's kind of like when you're closing.
Yeah.
You know? This
Good
podcast
stuff.
is an unstoppable train.
Well, it was nice to get out here. We're still doing this deep in the night for now. So welcome all
lurking
you
in the night.
closers out there that had to go out there and work it in like us and
Yeah,
get it in.
seriously.
Try to close a deal.
You try that, man. Try closing deals during the day and then come doing a podcast in the late hours of the evening.
Hey, you got that power nap in though, right?
I did not. You did, though.
I did though, but you do every now and again.
Every now and then.
We know about the power nap. So if you've been on the road, you know what we're talking about with the power naps.
Yeah, you sneak a little nap. A little nap ski.
Have you ever overslept and missed your appointment?
No, I have not. I have not.
But anyways, we'll talk about that later.
That's a good story.
It is a good story. That's what today's about. It's all about sales stories. It's about
Stories,
the little crazy
man.
stories out there. We walked in and we started talking about Cap's appointment today, and I said, "Well, we gotta stop. This is meant to be." This is gonna be a real fun episode. We're probably gonna get tons and tons of follow up because everybody has a story they want
Yeah.
to share. And we'll do this one. We'll do part 8, 9, 10. I mean, this will go forever.
Yeah. Do you think these, like, prefacing my story, is there something about that you're like, well, how would a closer handle it, or are we just sharing stories?
We're just sharing stories. I mean, I don't know.
Because there's some weird stuff
like,
where I felt
mean-
odd. I was like, I,
mean,
don't
look,
even know what to
I
do
don't
about
know either.
this.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you some funny ones I've heard that are crazy too. But I mean, that one, well, look, right now, especially for what I've had happen in my life, there's no way. You know, I wouldn't know what to do. It would freak me out. So tell me about the story. Tell us what
Yeah.
happened.
So my attitude of closing, just as soon as this happened, went kind of out the window, and more so like my humanity kicked in, I guess, is how I would equate
tell
it.
us what happened.
So I didn't close it. Let's put it that way. But as my early morning appointment, I showed up and I had done like a warm up call the day before. I some companies have appointment confirmations and stuff. I do that myself. So no answer on that call. Show up the next day, and especially when I never hear from them, I don't know what to expect. Like, are they expecting me or what? Show up, knock, knock, knock. Lady opens the door. Super nice lady, brings me right to the project. I'm just trying to build some rapport as we're talking, but going with the flow. I'm thinking about what we've talked about prior podcasts, like go with the flow, let her lead you there, whatever. Right? So I'm balancing all that information. and she just seems so aloof. I'm like, I gotta connect with her on something. And so I'm looking around, and there's some beautiful flowers. And Mother's Day had just gone and passed. And so I was like, oh, wow, those flowers are beautiful. Through my mask, I could smell them. They were that strong. I said, those are really beautiful. Did you get those for Mother's Day? And she said, no, I had a family member pass recently. And I mean, immediately, you're just like, there's an energy in the room that you can't keep it. I've had several people say, well, my son died like 10 years ago, or you have those things happen a lot. But recently, like 3 days ago recently, so I'm here now balancing, like, okay, I got to make sure that the energy doesn't become bad, because death is a normal part of life. So, but how do I keep it from becoming a bad energy? And so I was thinking, I'm like, okay, so do you mind telling me, Mrs. Jones? That's not a real name, but do you mind telling me who passed? And she said, my husband. My husband. Three days ago.
Look, this is serious, but come on. I mean, come on. For a second there, look, first off, you go there, I mean, like, as a rep, sit back, I'm just like, just blow it away, first off, right? I mean, you had to be blown away.
I was absolutely.
You were like, what do you like? Did you just like silence for a second there?
Yeah. Well, she was silent before I fast forwarded that. When I asked her who, she was like, well, and then she went quiet for like a minute. And then she said, as strange as it sounds, it was my husband. And I just was like, oh, I don't know what to say. And then it got weirder because she said, we set the appointment 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. And she kept the appointment anyway. And I was like, listen, Mrs. Jones, I honestly, I just said, what am I doing here? You got bigger fish to fry right now. I mean, I would love to help you with this product that you need. And certainly if you want it, I'll sell it to you, but are you okay? Like, that's what, honestly, what I said. I was just like, are you okay? Do you need anything from me? That's all I knew what to say. And I'm like, listen, I'm sure you got plenty of support. You probably don't need anything from the window guy. I use this line a lot. We're humans first, especially in those situations. I'm a human first before I'm a sales guy. But yeah, it really catches you off guard. And man, that Minnesota accent just came through big time. It really catches you off guard right there. But yeah, I don't know. You just, how do you even be on your feet for that one? You really just kind of have to navigate how to handle it after that. And I ended up throwing the whole closing mindset out the way. I just listen, if you feel ready to go in a week, I'll check in with you then. Otherwise, just let me know what you need. I didn't know what else to say. That's my story. I'm laughing not at the story, at her loss, but just at, and at the risk of sounding too weird or whatever. I honestly feel that in those moments, I'm almost there for a reason, just to bring some positive energy into her life or whatever it could be.
Every job's meant to be closed. Yeah. You're meant to be closed sometimes too. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I always look at everything as a good, everything happens for a reason. And, you're meant to help that person that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's some strange ones that happen too. I mean, there's just all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh, I got another story, and we'll go to something. You got some
stories
too.
You tell first.
But I feel like, I've only been in this for a short while compared to yourself, and I got stories too. But
so do tell.
I specifically remember, and it ended up being a first call close. I walked into this home, and the guy, this was back in Minnesota. The guy he was just sitting on the couch when I walked in. He couldn't get up. He was an injured veteran and overweight, and just had not worked his body in a very long time. And at first, this is how it started. I knocked a handful of times and opened the door, and I said, "Mrs. Jones," and the kid goes, "That's my mom. I'll go get her." And it was a young guy, but he just had long hair. I was like, "Oh, great! That's a great start to this appointment." This 13-year-old
have you had
young
anybody
man
flash you yet or open the door naked?
No, I've heard stories of webcam porn stars answering the door saying, "Oh, I thought that was Wednesday. I'm working right now." No, it has not happened to me.
No, it hasn't happened to me either.
Yeah,
and I've been in a lot of homes, so I'm surprised. I mean, I've had where this nasty lady with a robe, old lady, robe opened up and it was, an incident, but it wasn't like somebody. Oh my buddy's happened to have twice. One foolish, other one just top down, but he's had it happen twice. Answer the door right in front of him.
Wow.
Yeah. That's just crazy.
I had one where the house smelled so bad of crap that the company I was at did both bath and windows, and I was selling windows at the time. I sold them doors. I closed it that day, but the bath people ended up having to cancel their install date because there was literally poop all over the walls. Yeah, I'm not taking my shoes off in those homes. You're taught to take your shoes off. Not every home. Or wear some footies or whatever.
Well, we all been in hoarder houses, I've been in every type you can imagine, whether it was animals or I've been in eccentric ones where they collected videotapes back when VHS tapes and all that.
They're the buyers, man.
And then they had newspapers. One collected newspapers. It was really weird. One collected Santa Clauses. So I'd never seen it was really wild. So many, Santa Claus is everywhere. I mean everywhere.
Yeah.
I can imagine a couple thousand Santa Claus figurines all throughout this trailer, which we sold. All right.
Well, you better, you know what? You better sell a hoarder, right?
She had so many cookbooks. She had a separate trailer set up for cookbooks. We sold. Nice people, wonderful people, had cash.
Yep.
Just that's where they chose to live out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And they wanted to fix up that, and they had the money, and we did it. But it was just crazy. But yeah, very eccentric. Most of the time they buy. The weirdest, so the craziest story of all time that I have that I've ever been in, that's always my top crazy, is I went to this house. This guy was answer the door, and he has one arm. Okay, one arm. That's it. And he smokes cigarettes. Constantly smokes cigarettes. He talks a lot, like me. So, but I'm listening this time, right? And he has a mom there. His mom is 90, 95 pounds, soaking wet. This little old lady,
Yeah.
probably in her like late 70s, 80s, I don't know, something like that. And I'm looking at this. I'm in the bathroom business. I'm looking at this bathtub area and had to, looking at it and went in there and said, okay, what are you looking to have done? He's going through, want to have this, want to take this out. And I said, okay, well, we can remove this and, we can do these changes. I'll need to take measurements. And as I'm going in there to start right up and do all the changes, because he wants to like rip out and put a shower in, a nice walk-in shower for them. He starts going to these stories and like he gets like real, like, biblical. And I've heard people talk, don't get me wrong. I was listening with it over, but this was like he's smoking, he's like fuck shit every other word. And he's just like and he starts freaking me out because he's like going in detail. Like this isn't like the regular, It's like I'm watching some fucking movie in like some Silence of the Lambs shit or whatever, right? And this guy's just talking. He's like, yep, second coming came down, saw Jesus come down, and he's like, and the temple was rebuilt, and it's like, and you walk in, and it's made of this and this and this, and it's this wide by this long, and he's like saying all this shit, and he's saying fucking shit all and smoking cigarettes, like he smoked 2 cigarettes while he was saying this, chain smoking right in front of me, right? I'm just like, nobody's gonna believe this. Nobody's gonna believe this shit. Like, nobody's gonna believe this, right? This is a good one, right? This is what I'm thinking as I'm just trying to like just go through I'm like, okay, maybe he's been drinking. I don't know. Well, he ends up telling me about his arm too. All right, so he gets done telling me his whole prophecy thing, and then and look, I let everybody talk, and I'm not one way or the other. I'm not saying anything, but this guy's a little crazy and off. Let me finish. So the reason why he had one arm is he was in a car accident. He's on special pills. So that he is a little messed up.
Yeah.
And it gets worse. So let me explain how it gets worse. So we sit down in the kitchen, small little kitchen area, little half table pushed up against the wall. He's sitting on the one side of it, I'm on the other, and then like you can see the kitchen cabinets. If we're sitting to the left of it, to the right, we can see the kitchen cabinets. And as we're sitting down, I'm going through the presentation with the presentation booklet. Okay,
right.
That booklet.
Yeah.
All right, that's what you have. Going through the booklet, boom, 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 and going through the steps. And a lady asks a question, and he yells at his mom right in front of me. I was like, whoa. Like, okay, he's like, Mom, I got this. I'm like, oh, shit. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, okay. This guy is off his rocker, and he's still smoking cigarettes. Like, it hasn't stopped. Like, he has not had a cigarette lit and puffing on it while I've been there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa. And he he just has these little comments he makes, and it's just really weird, and just like he's moving around. It's just bad. It's bad. Well, goes on. We go a little further, and the mom's curious. She wants to know a couple of things. She kind of like looked at a couple of touched, and he just kind of shoot her off a little bit, but she was able to get involved. And I tried to include as much as I could. And then she went to go ask another question. I was getting closer to the end, and he gets mad, yells at her, takes his one hand in front of me, swings it on his mother. Remember, she's 90 to 95 pounds, soaking wet. Misses her, right? She screams, "Oh, not again!" Dude, I almost lost it. So I worked for a really good company. I'm not going to name their name. So I could not put my hands on this person because it would have been really bad at the time.
Yeah.
Because our name could have got published very quickly for doing something like that. But it got really loud very quickly. I yelled at this guy, like, really got in his face real bad.
Yeah, so what do you do about it? Yeah.
I screamed at him. I said, never, don't ever, no. And I said ever, and I said $5,000 for that thing. That's it. We don't want your business. And I said, I better not ever find out. And I just
wow.
It was crazy. That's crazy.
Jeez, man,
it freaked me out. Even talking about it like freaked me out.
Yeah, I could tell.
Like wow. Just to see that, have that,
swung at it.
And I mean, I've heard like bad, and I've had couples like argue in front of me, like all pissed off at each other.
Right.
I've been in front of divorced couples meeting at the house, going through a divorce.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I've had them start talking shit to each other, or start to drink, or just all kinds of stuff has happened in homes.
Yeah.
Have them not try to hit on you in the house.
Yeah.
What else? My buddy had him one fight so bad that, and he may go share it and share some others, but the guy threw a chair across the room, broke it against the wall, ran out, slammed into his car, and peeled out across his lawn, the neighbor's lawn, because my buddy had him parked in.
Yeah.
And then jumped the curb and peeled out. All because they couldn't buy a bathtub, dude. And he was like, "So I guess we're not buying a bathtub, huh?" I'm like, how does that happen? And then I had one where this guy, I go in there, I present the price, and the guy gets up and just walks out, right? Literally just walked out, got in his car, and just drove away. And I'm like, man, what just happened? She goes, he left because he was gonna buy. Swear to God,
He left because he was
he's
going
gonna
to buy,
Yes,
and he didn't want to.
She's like, he can't handle it. He's gonna buy for me. That's why he left. Swear to it. I'm like, oh, is he gonna come back? Probably not for a while. I'm like, oh man, it was so good. It was so good. It was so good.
So you closed it, right?
Oh no, I didn't. I
Yeah,
did not.
I
I
figured.
did not close that one. I waited and talked. I just no.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard story. Like, I had a buddy in Minnesota. He went into a home and the guy was holding like an M16 the whole time, talking all sorts of crazy stuff. Clearly had some mental stuff going on, post-traumatic stress. And my brother's military, so that's not funny to me going through that. But I mean, when you're in the home, it's like, what do you do? You know?
I've seen a lot of like through people that, because again, when you go on people's personal homes and personal properties, they share themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In one manner, I've had customers and I've been in bad neighborhoods where they've walked me out with their, with their pistols or whatever else with them because I've been in rough areas.
Wow.
But I went this winter because we used to sell all through Ybor, and with a real near dear friend of mine, and he's Jamaican. And he's never touched a firearm before, okay? And he's not around them, and he just never been around them. So we're in this house, right? And this is old cat, right? Oh, you're so cool. But he's like, look, he's showing us his firearms because we just started talking for whatever we started talking guns, right? I was rolling with it, letting him talk because I just said a couple of things and it interested him. And my buddy was with me, and he started saying, yeah. So it goes in his back pocket, pulls out this little 22, right? He's like, I take this everywhere. And he says, yeah, I said everywhere. He's like, I'll take it to court. I take this, never leaves my side. I'm like, ooh. He's like, this is nothing. Let me show you something really good. Walks upstairs, brings down this big rifle, AK, right there in front of the show. He's like, yep, got this. He's like, here, check it out. Hand it to us. Oh my God. So my friend Jamaica said, and he's just so nervous, right? He is just sweating nervous, right? It's so funny. And like he held it, and he's like, and like the guy's over there, and he's like, oh my goodness, Jesse, he was so nervous. Oh man, he said it in the Jamaican voice, dude. I was dying laughing. It was so funny. But it's the first time he held it, but that was very common in our business.
Yeah.
And he was just starting off, so he was just getting into it. But I've been, I've had a gun pointed at me twice in this business.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Once I knocked on the wrong house in Reading, Pennsylvania, real rough area, because they had like half streets. So you go like 127th, and then it was a freaking half street, and then 128th. So obviously I thought it was the next one. No, wrong. Oh, yeah, it was bad. And then the other one was a farmer. I mean, he wasn't, but he was pissed. He with his gun. Yes, it was not. Yeah.
I left the hatch open in my car for like 2 hours straight because I thought it shut and it hit something and went back up, and I was in a rough part of St. Paul. Came out after my appointment. I was like, oh no. Like I was figuring like all my supplies and stuff were gone. And this saint of a lady had stood next to my car for like 2 hours. And she goes, is this your car? I'm like, yeah. She goes, this is a rough part of town, son. I'm like, yeah, okay. She's like, I've been watching over your stuff.
Why don't you just go to the damn trunk?
I don't know. Because it would have been unlocked. I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
I don't know, but I mean,
that's nice. That's cool.
There's some silver linings, some good stories out there too.
Oh, there's always good stuff.
Yeah.
I've been in many homes, and as we always say on here, it really didn't matter. You can go up and low end. I've been in many a rough home that will buy just it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Especially folks that have lived in their homes for many years or inherited their homes. They're going to put money into it. They're buying from somebody.
Yep.
Anyways, we're getting off our topic. Crazy closing stories, something you've been through. What else you got? You got anything else for me? Any of those stories? Anything else crazy you ran into?
Crazy I ran into.
I mean, just something weird out of any special hoarders you ran into? Any special
I told you about the
stories
poop
about
story. I got plenty of death stories. That happens all the time.
I had somebody pay me in all quarters for a down payment one time.
I've heard of that too.
$350 in quarters. Oh my God. That's a lot of quarters, bro.
Seriously.
I've gotten $20,000 in cash. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow.
I've seen that a couple of times now. That's kind of crazy.
I hate getting cash.
Oh,
I'm just like, I just
farmers used to do it all the
this.
time. They're like, hold on, son. They'd walk downstairs and open up a safe and bring out the cash. I used to see it happen all the time in this business.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so crazy.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I've probably run across enough where I'm almost desensitized to it a little bit, you know? Oh my gosh. This just hit me. All right. This was back in Minnesota again. Minnesota folks are weird, dude. Let's just put it that way.
I know.
And I'm sitting there talking to this lady, and her son is like 2 years old walking around, and she's got this like little dog that's like the size of her son, right? And this dog was humping everything, humping my leg as I was sitting trying to show her the demo. I was like, I'm like, under the glass table, she can probably see, but I'm just trying to like kick it off, like off my leg. And then this dog starts going to town on the kid. The kid would like run away, and the dog would like tackle the kid and start humping the shit out of this kid. And I'm just like, are you gonna? And she just like, stop it. I'm like, and she'd be like, he needs a girlfriend. I'm like, no, he needs to go in the other room. Like, something, you know what I mean? Like, it was the most uncomfortable like hour and a half of my life. And I ended up selling it.
Oh, I got so many good dog stories.
Gosh.
Oh, there's a lot of good dog stories.
Had a guy, he had 8 Rottweilers.
Wow.
And we're touring the house.
Wow.
All of them are in the house. Half
With
of them with us.
Yes!
I felt like I was walking with dinosaurs or some shit. So
were they like pushing you around sometimes?
Yeah, like some of them are really nice, and they just bump against you, and they're like, you know. And this guy's breeding them, and so we get to his basement bedroom, and there's this one laying on the bed, and we walk in, dude, and just. And I was like, "What was that?" And he goes, "Whoa!" He goes, "Oh, stop it!"
He's just saying, "Hi, yeah, oh, stop it."
He goes, "Oh, stop it!" And he goes to us because I was with my buddy. He goes, "We call her Killer." I go, why do you call her Killer? Because she's killed other dogs. Why is she in your bedroom? like, what is going on, dude? Oh my gosh, that was probably the most scared I've actually ever been at an appointment.
Oh goodness.
Oh, the blood curdling.
I was with a rep one time. His name is Jim Gross, and God bless his heart. I don't know if he's even alive anymore, man. This is way back. If you know that name, woof. When I first started, it was up in Pennsylvania. This guy was like a savant, and he'd ended up doing a lot of drugs way back in the day. It was completely clean, but back then he went and got methadone. This guy did this in the morning, but he was like a savant with like gambling. Like, he knew all the numbers, all the stuff, all the time. And he was just that way. So he's also good at sales still. I remember we going to this point, and Jimmy Grassi were both walking up the house, and these 2 Rotties come running. And he's scared of dogs. This dude dropped his shit so quick and ran. And I just stood still because I knew better. And he ran to that car and he jumped on top of his car, top of the roof, started jumping up and down, screaming and
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. And they were just wanting to play.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Oh. I've had a lady once. Her name was the customer's name was, her last name was Russell. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And her husband's name was Jack Russell. Only dog that ever bit me and like bit me really good right here and like made me bleed on my hand because I'd always try to like be friendly with them. With the puppy dogs. That little breast. It was a little Jack Russell. Oh, they can be mean.
Yeah.
Some of the Dobies can be mean too. The little miniature Dobermans.
Yeah.
They can be real mean.
I walked into a home. This guy, old man, one of those homes where you knock and they can't even move. They can't bother to move. They're like, "Come in."
Open it up. It's open.
Open it up. Come on in.
Didn't you read the notes? Just say the door's open.
So
like, okay.
I come in the door.
It's like you open it up, you're like, I don't know what I'm about to walk into. Anytime it says open the door yourself, you don't even know what you're just like, all right, so
all
like
your comfort, because you
4.
walk up and you're like, you know what? Nice siding. Everything looks okay. This probably looks okay inside too, right?
I'm like, they're not inviting me. And I'm like pushing my way in, right? Yeah. I don't know what I'm opening myself up into.
So he had, no kidding, he had 6 Boston Terriers. Those little things are just, and I don't mind. You can bark all you want, and he just, stop it. They don't like people.
Oh, and they keep barking, and while you're trying to talk
the whole time.
How many times did
it got worse because there was one in particular. that its vertical leap was right to my groin,
so
and I'm like,
funny.
I wish you need another.
All right,
cup,
so
man.
here's the deal. This
It
is why
nipped-
you keep dog treats with you, and you keep the
Yep.
ones that have like the ones they have to chew on for a while too, the long little ones that are
Yeah.
really healthy and good.
Yeah.
Because people gonna get upset. But dude, that solves
Just
that
get
problem,
away.
especially the little yappers, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Oh,
This
dude.
this one was literally part of my language. It was biting my dick over and over. I'm just like, can you do something about your dog? And he just like couldn't move. I'm like, okay. And you feel uncomfortable being like, get the fuck off me, you piece of, you know what I mean? Like, I love dogs, but you got to swat them. You got to like do something. You can't just sit there and take
I was
it.
at a lady's house that had 100 cats.
I don't even believe that you're.
She was a professor. It's 100 cats.
I don't
and
doubt
this-
you're exaggerating.
But this was and I've been in server houses that probably had close to that, but not that many. But she took care of these cats really, really well. It was probably the cleanest cat hoarder house I've seen. She like had
That's
this
good.
thing for it. She was a professor,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
and she took care of this. Like she had in there like 30 litter boxes in there, like all separated out. You can't get rid of the smells. You can't do that. It's just not possible. But it was really weird because like she rescued all the cats with like one eye, one ear, one leg, two legs missing or something. It's weird. But they would like gang up in these little cat gangs and clans, and like you're just sitting on this couch and there's fucking cats everywhere. All right, I have cats. I love cats.
Yeah.
Love dogs too. Cats are better. But anyways, cats everywhere. She's like, oh yeah, maybe it wasn't. I'm sorry. She had 30 cats. I was exaggerating.
Oh,
like the fish got
believed
that
you for a
bigger,
second.
but
yeah.
30. She had another 100 in the set. Whatever. 30 cats is a lot.
Yeah, that's
okay?
a lot of cats.
That's a lot because there's no way she had 100 in there. It was 30. It was 30. It's 30 there. She had 100 at the rescue facility. She had bought a separate building aside.
For the
Yeah,
cats.
so she was just floating that money out there for that. But she had this thing. She did it because she was rescuing all the strays out there or whatever. But it was weird. But it was cool. It was weird. But they all seemed to get along. There wasn't like really any fights. But they were all everywhere. Just like they were
Yeah.
just everywhere with 30 cats in a house there. Everywhere. I got 2 in
Jeez.
there. Everywhere.
Yeah, I've been in plenty of homes where you turn the corner and there's just dog shit all over the carpet.
I've been in homes like that where the dog like they had an open area with dog shit there, and I
Yep.
mean just like
Just-
that's where it goes. Like, look, I've been in houses where people had to heat their houses with ovens, stuff like that, and you can say whatever you want. I've actually been there. It sucks. I've had to heat my house with like that, and I'm not gonna go why, but it was there. I've been
Yeah.
there, but you can still keep your house clean. Okay, you can
If
clean
you see
up.
shit on the carpet, you
That's
can clean
an
that up.
issue. That's a problem.
Right. I get like the pee. I get, even though that's the worst, because I take my shoes off and sometimes it's too late. I applaud the guys who remember to bring like shoe covers and slip on, whatever, like footies for those shoes. Great idea. I should start doing that because inevitably you get like, oh
I know
man, this
someone that
looks
bought them on
clean.
Amazon, uses them every time, and has like a pack of 10, and they're
Yeah.
like nice ones. Puts them on,
Just
looks
put it
really
on
good.
and walk in the home.
Yep.
So
Safe no matter
inevitably,
what.
like the first floor looks great. You're like, yeah, this is just fine. You see a couple dogs, 2, 3 dogs, whatever, cats, and then you get to the second floor to measure whatever, and you're like, wait, what was that? Another step, and you're like, my socks are ruined, and my foot smells like piss, and I have 2 more.
So,
appointments
note to
left
self,
in the day.
a lot of companies promote taking your shoes off as one of these things. I used to be a big preacher of it, but I'm gonna tell you right now in the house, I'm gonna tell you how it is. Okay, I don't take my shoes off if I'm not comfortable. I'm sorry.
If you're not comfortable,
I don't. I'm sorry. And if they tell me leave it on, I do not disrespect it.
I
'Cause
leave
I
that.
had a guy today. He's like, "No, leave it." I'm like, yeah, "Okay." He's like, "No, seriously." I'm like, "Yep, I'm all right." No,
Yep, I
no.
got it.
Why piss off somebody if they want you to, and especially if they're leaving it on too?
Mhm.
Now I feel it's almost like a bad thing at times. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
It's offending them that I have to put this on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Oh.
get that. I've been there. I was at a house one time that had fleas.
You know what's bad? Sorry,
Right.
just
Go
talking
ahead.
about this. I feel like I could just smell dog pee. Just
Dude,
like
why would you
just
even go
talking
there?
about.
Why?
It's just like
I'm
in my
going- I'd rather
nostrils.
let me go down this other rabbit hole with fleas. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have you ever been in a house with fleas?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, well.
Unless I didn't know
You're
about
gonna
it.
get it this year.
I was.
Now it's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, it's gonna happen.
It's good.
I've been in a house where I had to shower like 4 different times to get the smell out. Go
So, a
ahead.
buddy of mine taught me this. He said, "Dude, anytime you get fleas, this is what you do." And I've had it twice, and I did it twice. Literally walked out of the house, stripped all my clothes off, down to my underwear, put them in a trash bag because I used to keep them in the trunk and put them in there because you can take it home. I have pets, and they're easy to take home with you. The fleas,
Yeah,
and if
yeah.
anybody's ever dealt with fleas in their life, you never want to deal with it ever again. So, I was doing the presentation. I was like, man. Fuck, something biting me and shit. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and I had a rep with me, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, what is that? Because they had gotten up to get us some water or something, right? Distraction, we did. And we had this white little tub, and you could see the little black things. Like, oh shit, did you see that? Finished, and they fought. So we're sitting there. We're like, well, I'm writing it up. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. But I'm putting the paperwork in there too, and I'll deal with it. But I'm writing this up, right? Yeah. This is when we put pen to paper, bro. Okay?
If you had to have those conversations, hey, our installers are coming, you got to get rid of the fleas.
You can just press right here, sign hard, throw copies yours.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But we signed the paper, got that done, boom, get out of there, and strip right down. Watch it. I did right in front of the customer. I've done it twice. I don't care. I did not care at that point. It was a little crazy. I don't think I could do that nowadays. I was young and dumb. I think I was like,
to your skivvies, or like, did you have like?
I didn't do that. I love my underwear on. Not that bad.
Just stripped on your underwear on the car.
Underwear. Yeah, I drove in my underwear home. Terrible.
That is hilarious. Oh my god.
That was for you, Pappy. That's my boy Pappy, man. He's the one that taught me that one. That's good stuff.
You know what I love about these stories is these are the stories that you call after your point. You call that one buddy. You probably have buddies at work, but you got the one that you call every time kind of thing. And you're just like, dude, you'll never guess what just happened.
They'll be like, look, I don't even know if this is real, but it happened.
Yep.
Because I've always thought about this for years, all the different stories, and like as we keep talking, I start thinking about more of them, or like the crazy shit you said to people in the home, and like it's been like either like really good or really bad. Like I remember once I was doing a close, right? This was like Kias first came out; they weren't like considered a great car, and I've owned a Kia now, but. I did a close, and I'm like, well, it's not like a key, behind a Kia, right?
And they had a Kia.
Two of them in the garage. Oh, then I own 2 Kias. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no.
Well, just let me know. That's guaranteed for that. I didn't close that one. That was not the closest mindset. Oh man, another one. So I had customers did not close them right. They call me back. Go back again, right? This lady, the older couple, she wants to get it done. He won't do it, and she wants me to help let's get it done, right?
Yeah.
And it was like a $5,000 shower, needed the conversion, they needed to get it done, and they got the money to the point where I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna give it all out. So I'm sorry for saying this, but I did say it. All right, I'm like, sir, what are you going to do? I was like, what are you going to do with it? I said, you have the money, you can do it. I said, are you going to take a casket, right, and build it a little bit bigger so you can pile all the money in there and take it with you and bury it with you? You can't take it with you.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. It was a little out there. She loved it. He didn't like it so much. No, I didn't close that deal.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, man.
He would not budge, dude. He didn't like that at all.
I recently put a spin like that. I was less upfront. I'm less upfront than you are, I think, in general. But
it depends on the customer.
The guy was talking about like, well, I mean, I got 20 more years left, and I just said, listen, you could look at it that way, or you can say, why wouldn't you want to enjoy it for the next 20 years? And he ultimately said that's what made the deal for him. And you know what? I enjoy it. I deserve it. So it can go both ways. But you took your shot. I think that's the key. Take your shot.
Oh yeah,
just take your shot. I get so many. I mean, the warranties, for instance. Hey, we got a lifetime warranty. You're just so used to saying it. They're like, son, I'm 85 years old. I mean shit to me. It's just like, well, it's alluding to the quality is what I'm saying.
Funny.
It's so funny.
You have some old people, or you get the weird, so you get the weird old single lady, right? Right? Like the weird, like way out there in left field, like way out there. Yep. And you're just like, whoa. And they just go on all these weird stories and stuff. And you're just like, what the hell just happened here? I was at a lady's house that had mannequins, all right? And they were like all throughout the entire house, and they were all dressed up, and she was like this really eccentric, like it was just weird.
Yeah.
Like they're all like staring at me. It was weird. I was at a hunt. Okay, so weird places, right? I was at a hunter's house, right? And I'm sitting trying to do the presentation at this hunter's house. Now, this guy also bred this deer farm. So they make these deer farms where so they shot and killed a whole bunch of deer. Well, all that shit was on his walls, okay? Like, I'm not against it. I grew up with hunters and all that. Go shoot. I just can't put them on my wall because then they look at me and they stare at me and I think they're staring at me. All right. Well, it's bad enough you have one of those fuckers staring at you, right? I had like 30 of them. Okay. So you had this big screen TV, the big old ones, the heaviest shit, big flat screen ones, the 60 inches that stood up, right?
Yeah.
And there was like 30 deer and like little animals around their all heads just staring at me on the wall and around it, like 2 feet, 3 feet out, all just mounted everywhere, just all looking at us.
They're like the Mona Lisa. Like wherever you go, they're looking at you.
Dude, they're all right there in the eyes. Yeah, you didn't make it. You could just turn this way and that way. I'm trying to do the presentation, and I just see all of them looking at me. It would just creep me out.
Help me.
Just
Help me, Lynch.
Like once they'll start moving and shit. Oh man, it was just the weirdest thing. They bought, yes, they did, but it was weird.
I had a lady. She this is my last story. Then I think we're wrapping up here. We're getting the big 3-0 for how long we're going. But
oh, we're gonna have plenty of part 2. 3,
I can't
8,
wait to
10.
read people's stories after this. But we're doing the presentation. I ended up making the sale, in case you're wondering. But the more important part, she goes, we're doing the walk around, and she goes, yeah, and this is my clown room. Clown room. She goes, yeah, I'm a clown. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And we get in and clown shit everywhere. The guy I was with, because I was in training, he's so deathly afraid of clowns. He's like, I can't go in that room. It's like, I can't go in there and go measure the wind.
Yes!
And
dude, I would be like, oh no, it would, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're coming.
She starts talking about
because first off, I'm not going to room by myself. I'm just letting you know right now. Somebody's coming in with me.
She said something that just I was so profound. I had never thought of. She goes, since COVID, she goes, clowning's really been down since COVID. Never thought of it that way. I'm sure it has. Oh, yeah.
Oh goodness.
So
that's weird.
Good stuff. Her husband had passed too. But we actually got through that part of the story, and she was using her.
Before,
No, it wasn't that. It was like a couple months before she was going to use the life insurance to do some home improvements. So ended up doing the project. So
gotcha. Different.
Kind of went the other way than this morning.
Yeah, everything has its reason.
That was a good full circle, wasn't it?
That was a good full circle, right?
You never know which way it's going to go.
You never know which way.
Be a human being in those moments.
Well, look. I'm not gonna end it yet because I got another one.
Yeah, you got your last story. I had my last story.
So we've all been there where you've had a really bad, like I remember one time I had really bad iced tea at this customer's house, like so bad. And then I started getting sick in the sweats. And then I'm like, can I use your bathroom? I go in, I turn that fan, throw up everything in the bathroom, walk back out, close that deal, baby.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
They probably felt bad for you.
Water, please. I had another one where I had to use the bathroom, right? And I think we all been as reps. If you've been on the road enough, you've been there where A, you've had to do it in the back customer's house. B, you've had to stop in the middle of the road somewhere because you had no choice. And C, you may have had to use a bottle before. Guys, girls, I don't know. I've heard it's possible, but I still can't figure it out. But anyways, so I was at a house, right? And I closed this deal, and I had to use the bathroom really, like, it was bad. I had to go. Number 2 was number 1. Number 2, obviously, because I was trying. Number 1, I can handle that. Number 2 is the one where like you really want to be, not
not at work right now.
Not that right. Well, I went to the bathroom, finished up, right? And they had no spray or anything, no fan, and it was bad. The window's open, but it's stale. There's no wind or nothing, right? I'm trying to blow it out. I can't. I try to wash my hands like twice with like soap, and it's been a couple minutes. It's not like a minute. It's been like 5 minutes, right? This tells me about another story. This is gonna be a longer episode. Anyways, so I try to like flush it out, and I'm like, I flush the toilet again. It smells. I can't. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll try my best I can, right? I thought I did like the soapy whatever essence, right? I walk back out. She goes to get a checkbook, right? She goes back there. Well, there's a hall club there. You start.
You heard her spray in the hallway. Oh my gosh, dude!
I felt so bad. I was like, I just put my head down. I was like, yeah, you just sign right here. Please. Thank you very much.
Dude, I gotta be honest. I have yet to use a customer's bathroom except for one time. I had a hangnail that started bleeding because I bumped it on my like steering wheel.
Oh,
and I'm walking up to this home and I've got blood all over my hand. I'm like, I need a Band-Aid and a bathroom. but I've never actually. Dude, I've limped out of homes I had to pee so bad. Just like, yeah, oh, so thank you. Have a great day.
There's no way. I'm
Do you have a
sorry.
gas station around the corner?
I'm not. I'm going nice, comfortable bathroom.
I've never used a
homie.
customer's bathroom.
And,
I couldn't
I
imagine
feel
it.
like I become part of the home. It's like marking your territory. It's part of me. I'm all about it. I'm not against using the restroom. I feel like I'm like family. I like, it's
Yeah.
like breaking bread with them almost.
There you
It's
go.
very close. Okay. I'm not against it at all. It just number two, and I've had buddies that've had stories where like this one time we'll have to get him on the show. My buddy was telling me a story that he had to blow up a bathroom, right? He had to go like it was bad, like, like brr, bad. Well, they're like, sure, right there. Right there, right?
Oh, right next to
Like
him.
right next to him, like
Yep.
the table, like we're sitting here at
Do you
the
have
table.
a full bath upstairs?
Like it's right there, right? He's like, oh, like goes in there and you can like
Just
you know
unload.
that's having that crack and you can just hear just destroying the bathroom, right? You imagine to walk out of that one. I that happened one time, but all right, last story I'm gonna say, and then I'll let you say your last story, and then
I'm tapped out, man.
You're tapped
This is
out?
good stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
all right, I gotta go to this one. This one, I know he passed. I heard he passed. Carl Weisling, good old soul, man. He was an old school cat, selling windows and doors when I was around. West Virginia boy.
Yeah.
And man, he was just a roly-poly guy. You just imagine a little short roly-poly guy, and like a couple teeth and hair just sticking out on the side. It's
Yeah.
almost like a cartoon character,
Yeah.
but this guy could close. Well, the one night I went with him, thank God we drove separate cars, because something must have happened. That boy must have ate something really bad, okay? Because Carl, we were sitting and presenting to a single lady here. We're presenting a kitchen, I'll never forget. And we're sitting at the table. She's on one side, he's on the other, and I'm in the middle, and I'm watching him. He'd been around a lot longer, so I'm watching him present.
Yeah.
He felt bad and said, "Can I use your bathroom real quick?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, honey, right up there." Da-da-da. And he's like, "Okay, I'm going up there."
I
Go
can
ahead,
see him
Jesse,
waddling.
continue. And he's waddled his ass up there, right? So I'm presenting, 5 minutes, I go back, I'm presenting, I'm just going through. He said, yes, yeah, go ahead and go through it, no problem, and I'm going through 10 minutes past, and I'm like, all right, it's been about 10 minutes, okay. 15 minutes past, and I'm like, all right, what's going on? What is this guy doing? Like, and I'm starting to think a little bit. I'm like, all right, maybe he's not feeling good. He's taking long. Man, he's taking bad shit or something.
Yeah.
All this stuff's going through my head as I'm presenting this letter, right? 20 minutes go past. I'm like, all right, so is he fucking trying to steal something now?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, what is he doing up there? Like, what is going on? 25 minutes past, and I'm starting to sweat now. I'm like, I'm getting real nervous. I'm like, he's dead. I don't know. He's dead. he's taking some stuff. He's gone through her whole house. I don't know what he's doing up there. 30 minutes pass, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm uncomfortable. I'm like really uncomfortable.
Seriously?
Dude, it was a long time. I mean, he comes walking out. He has to walk past her and then me. All right. He has toilet paper sticking out. And then he had like, you could see shit stains on his fingers. You could see it on his fingers. His shit stains were on his
What?
fingers. Okay. I'm
What
not making
is
this up.
happening right now, dude.
This is real shit. It was stained on there. And you could smell it. It's like fresh dog shit. You ever step on fresh dog shit, bro?
Yeah, of course.
You hear that smell?
Oh yeah.
Foul, right?
Yeah.
That's what it smelled like right there. And I just gave her the price because I couldn't wait. When I say half an hour, bro, I mean I gave
Yeah.
price. I'm like, fuck, I'm not waiting. Gave price. He wants to close. I'm like, ma'am, thank you very much. Let us know. I'm leaving. I walked. I made him leave because it was horrible.
Yeah.
He's so lucky he did not ride along with me because I would have made him walk. I would have made him walk back to the office, which is like a good mile away. He would not step in that vehicle with me. It was disgusting. Dude, it was the most nastiest thing. I'll never.
Did he
forget
ever
it.
tell you what?
I could no, I never. No,
You didn't
Steve.
bother.
He's I don't know, man. He was just a little. I don't know.
That is
never-
so funny.
Oh, it was bad, yeah. But that's how we're gonna end it like that. Like that dropped the mic story that you're
that
like.
was a
"What?"
shitty episode,
It
man.
was a shitty episode. Oh. That was a lot of fun. Well, we'll do this again. Tell
Look
us
forward to
about
your stories.
your
Yeah.
crazy stories out
That's
there.
what
the
makes
stuff
us
you-
road warriors. It's not just the closing, it's the stories.
Oh, there's so many. But see, that's just the beginning of the stories. I mean, there's some good crazy stories I got too. As we're talking about, there's just so many I'm starting to remember now of incidents where people have shared their life that I've heard like crazy cool things
Yeah,
too.
yep.
Where people just didn't know and they found out instantly. Somebody knocked
Yeah.
on the door and it's like, oh, one day this or this mom's, this mom did this or this dad did this. Just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you very much for listening, and
Yeah. We'll see you next time,
we'll
folks.
see you next time. We're out.
Peace.